Gee, feel like you guys are multiplying.
Minister, why has your party spent more time on a road cone hotline than modern slavery?
Well, first of all, we don't have any stats on the amount of time that we spend on either of those things. Actually, our party hasn't spent time on either of them. Our minister has tackled road cones, which has been a major problem for New Zealanders. It's that simple.
What do you make of National and Labour teaming up? What do you make of National and Labour kind of teaming up on modern slavery?
Well, let's see. What they're saying is that modern slavery is illegal if your company is bigger than $100 million. Now, if you really care about slavery, you wouldn't allow it for a company as long as it's less than $100 million. That means they're not actually serious about this. It's virtue signalling. We've just got rid of climate change reporting for most companies because it achieved nothing. Now you're going to seriously say we're going to put more costs onto New Zealand businesses and New Zealand consumers so that in a modern global economy, they're going to try and work out where every single screw and every single fibre and every single component and everything they sell came from and what the labour conditions of the people involved in every business associated everywhere in the world was. That's why it doesn't actually work, but it does sound nice. We are opposed to slavery. The New Zealand police have a number of investigations around slavery activity in New Zealand, which shows they can already enforce it when it really matters. That's why we don't need virtue signalling or costs on consumers.
You don't think Australia's got a similar kind of model? You don't think that's working?
Australia does lots of things, and I love our Australian cousins, but not everything they do is right.
So you wouldn't support this legislation?
Look, our caucus has got to discuss it, but I just asked a simple question. If you really care about slavery, then why do you allow it for companies of less than $100 million? Which is the proposition? What that tells me is that it's not a serious proposition. It's going to add a lot of cost and a lot of confusion, but it's not actually going to move the dial.
Why not start somewhere though?
Beg your pardon?
Why not start somewhere though?
Well, if it's a serious issue, like we're talking, if it really was slavery, surely you would want to get a lot more serious than allowing any company under $100 million, which is most companies in New Zealand by far, being able to practice it. On the other hand, even if you are a $100 million company, do you really believe that you're going to be able to work out where every screw, every fibre, every bit of material that's come from all over the world to make most products, you're really going to say a New Zealand product can hand on heart say that they can track that down and tell the truth about the labour conditions of everyone that was vaguely associated with the production of something in a global supply chain? Of course they can't. So it's going to be a great industry for a bunch of consultants who are going to make a lot of money writing reports, and the people that really need help around the world, we're no better off while Kiwi consumers pay extra.
So are you saying part of a condition, or not a condition, but a concern that was raised with the EU free trade deal, that they were hoping that New Zealand would have some kind of legislation for this?
Yeah, look, I'm sure the Europeans have a lot to hope for. Probably that's not one of their main priorities right now.
We're a week away from Waitangi.
Yeah, sorry. You still want to talk about this, don't you?
Okay. Yeah, Greg Fleming is saying that ACT blocked this, legislation going through cabinet. So, I mean, is that what happened?
No, I don't think there's been anything before cabinet on this topic. The cabinet's met, literally 100 times since we've been in government, but I don't think that that's been before cabinet.
On Waitangi Day, it's a week away. Are you making preparations to go up there?
Well, as I'm sure you can imagine, it's one of my favourite days of the year. Yes, I'll be up there, and I'll be putting forward the view of many New Zealanders about how our country should get on.
Are you expecting a good reception up there?
Oh, I'm sure the reception will be as great as ever.
The Prime Minister has talked about wanting to get around the country on Waitangi Day. Is there any particular area you think would be appropriate for him to go?
Oh, look, I wouldn't even presume to give advice to the Prime Minister to go to any particular place, but I'm sure that he's got a pretty good travel agent and he can work it out.
Why is it important for you to go to Waitangi and not maybe get more around the country?
Well, I've been every year I've been an MP, apart from COVID. I'm originally from Northland, and I actually like going up there. It's a useful debate, and frankly, I think there's a view that I put across that would not be represented if I didn't.
The Prime Minister has expressed support in the past for modern slavery legislation. Is that something that you've butted heads on?
No, look, there's lots of things that Chris Luxon and I agree with, but there's some things we don't agree with. That's why we're in different parties. All right, thank you very much, folks. Cheers. Oh, by the way, I can't believe that you guys haven't all run leading stories on the enormous savings to laboratories from Brooke van Velden's health and safety reforms. $1.5 billion to $3 billion saved from universities by getting rid of stupid rules. I reckon they should be leading at 6 o'clock. See you later.